What's up, morons? Back with another edition of Moron Money. Did you miss me on Friday? I was happy to see at least a couple of you pay attention and noticed I wasn't gone. Um, so that's why I'm here for a bonus episode of Moron Money. And hey, if you missed us on Friday, but want more Moron Money, then you better subscribe to the Patreon. Patreon.com/blindmike. Become a gearhead. Get the Blind Mike Project and Moron Money and all that good stuff. And a free way to support the channel is by liking, subscribing, commenting, and doing all that stuff here on this channel, and telling a friend about it if you think they'd like this programming here. Spread the word. We're a tiny channel. We need more interaction. We need more engagement. So I'd appreciate that if you would be so kind. But there's plenty to get to in the crypto and stock market space this week. But the big news is that we've had a hack. Oh, goodness gracious, everyone be scared. No. Calm down. There's no need to panic. I don't think. It's important to note, I'm not an expert on this by any means. While I'm certainly not a financial advisor, and you should always do your own research before doing anything with your money, I'm also not a tech expert. I'm an idiot. That's why this is called Moron Money. So definitely do your own research. But the Poly network has been hacked. Now, immediately, I saw this trending on Twitter, and I immediately saw headlines saying that there was a DeFi hack. $600 million on the Poly network using a cross-chain hack. Ethereum, Binance, and Polygon were all a part of this hack. And the headlines would have you believe that this was a DeFi hack, as if Ethereum, the Ethereum network was hacked, or Binance itself was hacked, or something like that. That does not appear to be the case. I read an interesting thread on Twitter. I like that I'm one of these guys now. I'm quoting Twitter threads. But this guy seemed to know what he was talking about, and this all just happened. So there's not a ton of in-depth articles on this yet. But Mudit Gupta, who seems to have his finger on the pulse of this stuff, has a whole thread kind of breaking it down, basically saying that it appears to just be the same as hacks we've seen in the past on crypto startups and things like that, and that it could even possibly be an inside job. It has the makings of that, apparently. Now, the reason I quote someone like Mudit Gupta is because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like I said, not a financial expert, not a technical expert, not an expert on anything. Except being blind, I guess I would be an expert on that. But at least more than your average Joe. But my point is, that I'm not going to pretend. You'll see a lot of YouTube channels. I can think of one in particular that has a large following that will tell you, try to pontificate like an expert on this. I don't know how networks are hacked or anything like that. But what I do know is that if the Bitcoin network or the Ethereum network or something like that were hacked, that would be the end of Bitcoin or Ethereum, or maybe even crypto in general. If you are able to penetrate what's supposed to be the impenetrable, then that is very bad for the industry. And that's what a lot of headlines seem to want you to believe. But I'm here to tell you, not the case. This is the fault of the Poly network, not Ethereum. So, hey, $611 million is a hefty chunk of change. They were able to blacklist that immediately. Tether, USD coin, I think. And I saw one or two other outlets blacklist these, and it seems like they've tracked the hacker or hackers down. So it wasn't a very good job, but $611 million, that number is going to grab a lot of people and get a lot of attention. So should you be worried? Personally, based on that, I don't think so. Should you be worried about what's going on in the Senate today? The amendment that people wanted, even Ted Cruz wanted the cryptocurrency on this Joe Biden infrastructure bill. They wanted the crypto aspect tabled because it was so broad and so poorly worded that it could put in danger a lot of miners, stakers, all kinds of people that hold on to cryptocurrency, and that could be very bad for them. And part of it is that they will be looked at as brokerages, so they'll be looked at the same as whatever, Fidelity or Robinhood, or pick your brokerage. Well, some run-of-the-mill miner or staker is going to be looked at the same way because they touch crypto, essentially. So that could be very bad for the industry. A lot of people seem to think that it wouldn't affect necessarily Bitcoin or Ethereum, but maybe a lot of other cryptos instead. I think it would be very bad for the United States in the sense that it seems like we're at the forefront of mining now that China has done whatever they're doing with this crackdown. The USA seems to be at the forefront of this. If they implement something where that is bad for miners, I think that's bad for the United States. That's a, burgeoning market. Is that the right term? It's a market on the rise, I believe. I think mining is going to be very big for the next years to come here. And to put some sort of limitations on that would be very bad. Now, Gary Gensler of the Treasury has said that crypto holders need more regulation. And that's something I agree with. In order for cryptocurrency to be accepted, there needs to be more regulation, just protecting people that hold crypto. But this wouldn't be that. This infrastructure bill, it seems like they threw in crypto because it's a hot item right now and did a very sloppy job with it. So it is the amendment did not pass through the Senate. It is now in the hands of the House. I believe is how that works. So I mentioned on Patreon the other day that Altcoin Daily, if you want to check them out, did a very good video the other day kind of showing you and walking you through how you can reach your local politicians in order to try and, make your voice heard and, let the government know that crypto holders don't want this and this is a very sloppy job. So you can check that out. But the main thing is that this seems to be a bipartisan issue. Senators on both sides of the aisle came out against this, and now it's up to the House. So hopefully that's it for talking about things I really don't know about. It's funny when I read a story about hacking and the explanation of it, I still don't understand. It's like, I don't know what any of these words mean. Well, let me break it down for you. Oh, okay, good. Then that version I don't understand either. So do your own research, as I always say. You're listening to a fool who just tries to provide you. The goal of Moron Money is A, I like talking finance and stocks and crypto, and B, that I want to give you guys enough information that you can do your own research. And then you can come back in the comments and tell me, hey, Mike, you're a buffoon. You're a boob. We had a good question from the comments that I'll get to in a minute. But first, I want to polish off this crypto talk here. While AMC will be accepting Bitcoin, and I tweeted this out this morning, that it's very interesting. AMC is a very interesting company to follow now because they have fans instead of customers. Like they have an audience that wants to see them do well rather than consumers of their product or investors that believe in the comeback of the movie theater business. So AMC has kind of doubled down on that and said, hey, we're a meme stock. Let's get into crypto. So it appears they'll be accepting Bitcoin. Now, the interesting thing with accepting Bitcoin is I think it's good, just for the pure functionality of Bitcoin. But also, I think if you're going to buy a movie ticket, you shouldn't spend, $20 or whatever it is now of Bitcoin to do that. Just take your cash up. That's fine. You don't need to be spending Bitcoin on overpriced popcorn and soda. So AMC has tried to tap into. They did the same thing with getting all these members on board. Like if you're an AMC investor, you could be part of their I don't know what they call their rewards program or whatever, where you get a free bag of popcorn. I give them credit for trying to kind of take the reins on that, but I don't know if they've gone far enough. I think there is still room for movie theaters. I think they might need to change their model. Maybe they have to make it a whole night out where it kind of becomes like going to a comedy show where you can eat and drink and all sort of shit like that. I don't know if that really works for movies though, because I don't know if you want a waitress yapping in your ear, which by the way, you shouldn't want that for comedy either, but that's a whole nother bag of worms. Point is, AMC is trying. And the Wall Street bets of the world might lead them to the promised land It's interesting to watch. I'm not an investor of AMC. I don't trust it. I don't trust any of those meme stocks, really. Well, and let me clarify that because I don't want these people on my ass. What I mean by that is I don't want to focus on that as much as you'd have to make money. I don't want to play the odds and buy the dips and sell the pumps just to make a few bucks. I prefer long-term investments. I think it's smarter in the sense that it's safer. If you really know what you're doing with trading, then God bless you. You're a lot more focused and intelligent than I am, and just able to understand that. But personally, for me, I think long-term investing is the way to go. But if you like AMC, let me know in the comments. And we'll talk more about that at a later date. Now, as far as those comments go, always leave a question. I'll always answer them. And one good one that we got from our best Moron Money commenter. I don't see him on the Blind Mike Project stuff too often, but on Moron Money, he's always there. Craig Overcully, I think his name is. And he asked a good question. I was talking about the Barstool Sportsbook app and Penn National Gaming the other day, and their acquisition of the Score app, which I think was very good. He asked me, I forget what state. I think he might have said he lives in Colorado. And, he already has DraftKings and FanDuel or whatever the other one is. And he's gotten used to those. And it's kind of like I was talking about with my buddy in New Jersey. We were in New Jersey the other day. And before we went to Yankee Stadium, he had to make sure he made his bets in New Jersey, and he has DraftKings and FanDuel. So does a place like DraftKings have a leg up on Penn National in the sense that they're already in a lot of these states, whereas Barstool is doing sort of a slow rollout? I think it gives them a minor advantage, but I think the major advantage that Barstool has and Penn National has that these places like DraftKings and any future apps to come do not, is that there are going to be people that will purely sign up. You will delete the DraftKings app if Portnoy tells them to, and sign up for the Barstool Sportsbook app, even if they like the DraftKings app. That's what he said. He goes, I kind of already like these apps. Am I going to switch over? And are there a lot of people like me? Yeah, that's an advantage that DraftKings has, but I think it's a pretty minor advantage. And I think the major advantage is the rollout of stuff that Penn National will do when they come to a lot of these states. I think their ability, just from a marketing standpoint, but also from their sense of what people like, knowing what gamblers and their audience and their demographics like, I think that's a major advantage that DraftKings just doesn't have. Like I said, you can tell there are little, footprints of DraftKings trying to be Barstool when they brought in someone who was essentially supposed to be Dave Portnoy, but the DraftKings version of that is just some corporate stiff, not a personality or anything. And, they tried to bring in personalities, and they went with Dan Le Batard, who they paid $50 million in some sort of weird sponsorship deal, rather than having guys in-house like, Big Cat or Brandon Walker or Marty Mush, or all these characters that you kind of live and die with in your gambling, and also, follow along on social media and all that type of bullshit. So that's where I think Barstool is the major advantage, is they have an audience where DraftKings doesn't have that. So you may be comfortable with the DraftKings app, and they'll have a few people like that, but they have kind of an intangible thing that really only Barstool has. Penn National is the only company that has something like that. There's no loyal, diehard DraftKings fans that will, do whatever they ask of you. So that, I think, is where they have the major advantage. But, kudos to DraftKings for having the early lead in a lot of those states. We'll see how it plays out. I still think Penn National, last I saw today, was around $71. I don't know if it was up later in the day here, but I believe that's a good buy. I've been talking about that a lot lately. The longer it sits there, the longer you've got it at a discount at a good value, I think. And then, once football season's back, I think you're going to see that number really go up a lot, because you're going to see the Barstool Sportsbook app being used a lot more in a lot of these states. And, You know how that works. So I think that's it for today. On the Patreon this week, I talked about VeChain. What am I investing in right now? You might ask yourself. What's Mike got his toe dipped into? And the answer is nothing. Nothing at all. I am right now. The market is so weird. We have a lot of this, gloom and doom sort of news with what's happening in the Senate and the House with cryptocurrency. The stock market, everyone is expecting a crash that hasn't happened. We've had a couple green days here. So what's going on with the markets? I don't know. And to me, those are the times where I'm not buying anything. Like I said, if I see something like Penn National that I don't have enough of, maybe that's a good time to get a value. But for the most part, kicking my heels up and relaxing and seeing where the market goes. And then when we have another dip, if the reason is nothing, just the market cooling off, that's when I start buying again. Always remember, be greedy when others are fearful. I can never get that phrase out right. God damn it. Be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. Thank you, Warren Buffett. All right. I think that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed this bonus episode of Moron Money. Moron Money will be back on Thursday. I'll be back on patreon.com/blindmike tonight with a live episode. You can stream along with us for as little as $1 a month if you want to sign up there. And like I said, we've got Moron Money. We've got Blind Mike Project every day. So don't sleep on us. Subscribe to the Patreon if you like. And free way to support the channel. You know how to do it. Subscribe, tap the notification bell, like this video, comment on this video, and share it and tell a friend. All right. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be back with more Moron Money on Thursday. See you tonight on the live stream. And keep making money, folks.